Are there times when you'd like to fire something different than what's loaded in your subtubes, but don't know how? This has been a puzzler for me too until recently. Now that I know, I'll let you in on it too. First, choose your ship du jour. In this case, I've chosen the Turbulent while playing the To Protect the Queen scenario. With the new sonar model in Harpoon 2, the Turbulent has a very good chance to close within torpedo range of the Kuznetsov battlegroup. You can either click on the logistics icon and then click on the ship or sub you want, or select the vessel first and then double click on the logistics icon, whichever you prefer. By the way, when approaching an enemy battle group, stay at intermediate or deeper depth. Keep the thermal layer between you and the surface task force. You are staring at the logistics screen. The window on the left shows how many and what kind of tubes/launchers are loaded. The upper right window shows what weapons are loaded in each tube. The lower right window shows the weapons remaining that can be put into those tubes instead. To unload a tube, click on the weapon you wish to remove in the upper right window. In this case, I've removed a spearfish torpedo. If you're approaching a surface group and there is a ship with a tail, that is a towed array sonar, between you and the rest of the battle group, consider approaching above the layer at shallow depth. That arrangement will put their best sonar on the wrong side of the thermal layer to hear you. Now that the tube is clear, select the weapon you want to load in the lower right window by clicking on it. A more general way to look at making an attack run with a sub is to look at the opposition's best sonar and look at yours. Then put your sub on the side of the layer that will make the most of the difference. Now we have the first tube loaded with a harpoon. To load the other 4 tubes, follow the same procedure for each tube you wish to change. If your towed array is better than theirs, stay under the layer till you just enter their detection range and then go to shallow depth. You should be able to hold the contact while continuing your approach. With all 5 tubes loaded with harpoons, we're ready to go back to the game. There's a quandary in launching missiles from a sub. The missiles give away the position of the sub, but the closer you are to the target, the more likely the missiles will actually score a hit. I prefer to launch in coordination with an airstrike with my sub barely in range to fire. All dressed up and ready to kill. In just a few minutes, the Turbulent has acquired a new and improved anti-surface weapon range circle and is set to launch in concert with an airstrike that is already at their launch point. If she launches now, her weapons will have a good chance to make it to the target. May the wind always be at your back and the thermal layer be between you and the enemy.